When my dreams were sacrificed for my sister's ambitions, the betrayal that shaped my success. Growing up, I was always the quiet one, the planner, the dreamer. My sister Clara, on the other hand, was the embodiment of confidence and charisma. She could walk into a room and own it without trying. My parents adored her, often praising her charm and boldness. I didn't resent her for it. We were different, and I believed that our paths wouldn't cross much. I was wrong. When it came time for me to apply for college, I was thrilled. I had worked tirelessly to earn good grades, joined clubs, and even worked part-time to save for my future. I wanted to study architecture, a passion I had since childhood. I could picture myself designing homes that told stories, buildings that spoke of dreams realized. But college came with a price tag my savings couldn't cover. My parents always assured me, "Don't worry, Maya, we'll help with your tuition. You just focus on getting accepted." I did my part. I got into a prestigious university with a partial scholarship. All I needed was their financial support to cover the rest. I remember sitting down with my parents in the living room, holding the acceptance letter in my trembling hands. "Mom, Dad," I began, trying to keep the excitement in check. "I got in. I just need help with the remaining tuition fees." Their response was not what I expected. My dad sighed, looking uncomfortable. "Maya, sweetheart, we're really proud of you, but we're not in a position to help financially right now." I felt the air leave the room. "What? I thought we had planned for this. You always said you'd help." "We thought so too," Mom added. "But with rising expenses and everything, it's just not possible. Maybe you could defer your admission for a year, work, and save more." My chest tightened, but I nodded. I didn't want to make them feel guilty. "Okay," I whispered, though my dream felt like it was slipping through my fingers. A shocking discovery. A few months later, Clara announced at dinner that she was starting her own fashion boutique. "I just got the funds to lease a storefront," she exclaimed, her face glowing with excitement. "Funds?" I asked, confused. "Where did you get the money?" "Our parents," Clara said without hesitation. "They believe in my vision. Isn't that amazing?" I froze. My fork clattered against my plate. "Wait, you gave Clara money?" My mother's face paled, and my dad cleared his throat. "It's not the same thing, Maya. Clara needed help to get started. This is an investment." "An investment?" I echoed, my voice trembling. "But you said you couldn't afford to help me with college. How is this different?" Clara, oblivious to the tension, chimed in. "Oh, Maya, don't be upset. College can wait, but business opportunities like this don't come around often." Her words stung. I pushed back my chair and left the table, tears streaming down my face. Turning pain into determination. That night, I made a decision. If they wouldn't invest in my education, I would. I applied for every scholarship I could find and worked double shifts at the diner. It was exhausting, but every time I thought about giving up, I remembered that dinner table and the betrayal I felt. Eventually, I managed to scrape together enough to cover my first year. The rest would be up to me: hard work, part-time jobs, and sheer willpower. In the meantime, Clara's boutique became the family's new centerpiece. My parents gushed about her entrepreneurial spirit and how proud they were. But I noticed Clara's business wasn't booming as they claimed. Sales were slow, and she was constantly asking for more investments to keep it afloat. Rising above the odds college was everything I dreamed of and more. It was challenging, yes, but I thrived. I joined design competitions, interned at architectural firms, and built a network of mentors and peers. Slowly but surely, I saw my dreams taking shape. By the time I graduated, I had a job offer from a top architecture firm and a portfolio that reflected years of hard work. I hadn't spoken much to my family during those years. Calls were brief, visits rare. I needed space to heal. The tables turn. One day I received a call from my mother. "Maya, we need to talk." Her voice was hesitant, almost apologetic. When I arrived home, the atmosphere was tense. Clara sat on the couch looking stressed. My parents looked weary. "We need your help," Dad began. Clara's boutique is struggling, she's in debt, and we've already poured everything we could into keeping it afloat. We thought maybe you could help. You're doing so well now." I stared at them, the irony cutting deep. The same people who couldn't afford to help me were now asking me to save the business they prioritized over my education. "I'm sorry to hear that," I said carefully. "But I can't help. I've worked too hard to get to where I am. Maybe Clara needs to step back and rethink her approach." Clara's face crumpled. "Maya, please. You don't understand how hard it is to run a business." I bit back a bitter laugh. "No, Clara, you don't understand how hard it is to be told your dreams don't matter." My parents looked ashamed, but I didn't stay to hear their excuses. A life reclaimed years later, I opened my own architectural firm. My designs were featured in magazines, and my firm became synonymous with innovation and excellence. Clara's boutique eventually closed, leaving her bitter and resentful. My relationship with my parents remained distant. I forgave them eventually, but the wound of their betrayal left a scar I couldn't ignore. In the end, their decision to prioritize Clara taught me the most important lesson of all. Never let someone else's lack of belief dictate your future, because when they didn't believe in me, I learned to believe in myself. When Maya's dreams of attending college were crushed by her parents' refusal to help with tuition, she discovered the shocking truth. They had invested the money in her sister Clara's struggling business instead. Heartbroken but determined, Maya worked tirelessly to fund her education on her own. As Clara's venture faltered, Maya's relentless efforts paid off, propelling her to success. But when the tables turned and her family sought her help, Maya faced a choice: forgive the past or prioritize her hard-earned future. This is a story of betrayal, resilience, and the strength to rise above it all.